So in the previous class, we have seen what happens after double fertilization, various sequential events, disappearance of some structures, wither off, and some structures will pertain, they were present and they were modified. For example, egg cell is modified into zygote and the central cell is modified into primary endosperm nucleus. So once primary endosperm nucleus forms or zygote forms, what are the other structures we have seen in a nutshell in the previous class. So primary endosperm nucleus, remaining all we have seen. What happens to the ovule stalk, what happens to the hilum, what happens to integuments, what happens to the nuclear pore or micropyle, nucellus, various structures. Primary endosperm nucleus, which is triploid endosperm development, undergoes changes to become primary endosperm cell. Primary endosperm cell. Endosperm nucleus, triploid, becomes endosperm cell with a triploid nucleus. This primary endosperm cell going to divide further. In various ways it is going to divide. So based upon the mode of its formation, to form tissues, all these tissues are called endosperm. Develop into endosperm tissue. So primary endosperm nucleus becomes primary endosperm cell. This primary endosperm cell is developed into endosperm tissue. So based upon how this primary endosperm cell is becoming a tissue. So based upon the method of formation of endosperm, based on the mode of or method of formation of endosperm. Three types of endosperms are noticed. Three types of endosperm are identified, are noticed. In the plants, various types of plant groups based on the mode of formation of endosperm. Here, what is mode of formation of endosperm? The most common, those three types are the most common mode is nuclear endosperm. Cellular endosperm. Based on the mode of formation of endosperm, three types of endosperms are identified. They are, first one, nuclear endosperm, or it is the most common type, which is also called free nuclear endosperm. nuclear endosperm or free nuclear endosperm. Cellular endosperm. Third one, helobial endosperm. Helobial endosperm. What are these nuclear endosperm or free nuclear endosperm? It is the most common type of, first point, most common type of endosperm, generally found in polypetalae of dicots. Examples: and most of the monocots. Monocot cereals, polypetalae of dicots, monocot cereals. What is this nuclear endosperm? Let us see. First one. In this, at one place, if we see this overview like this, imagine this is the embryo sac. Here our egg apparatus finished. Zygote is going to develop. So the first concept of endosperm precedes the formation of zygote. It means endosperm is formed before the zygote developing into embryo. It means endosperm is formed earlier than zygote division into embryo. Zygote's division into embryo. So if zygote wants to divide to become embryo, it requires food material, energy, nutrition. So for the zygote, for its successful divisions to develop into embryo, it requires energy, that is food or nutrition. That nutrition is supplied by endosperm. So endosperm is formed earlier than zygotic divisions, that zygote develops into embryo, because there is a guarantee or assurance of providing nutrition to the developing embryo. If there is no guarantee or no assurance of providing, means if the endosperm is not there, no guarantee is there for this. So endosperm precedes development of zygote. It means endosperm formed before zygote is undergoing division. For zygote division, it requires energy. That energy is supplied by the endosperm. So it is called nutritive tissue. Here, within this first one, within the endosperm, nuclear endosperm or free nuclear endosperm, first of all, this endosperm cell undergoes division to form various number of nuclei within the cytoplasm. And here our developing zygote is there. It is about to develop. Maybe becomes one-celled or two-celled. Two-celled zygote. Here, so many free nuclei. So, primary endosperm nucleus and primary endosperm cell, it undergoes so many divisions of nucleus. It means free nuclear divisions. Free nuclear division means immediately after the division of nucleus, there is no cytokinesis or division of cytoplasm. Only nuclear division means nucleus only will divide. Immediately cytoplasm is not going to divide. This is called free nuclear division. So an endosperm tissue is formed by free nuclear divisions without wall formation. What is without wall formation? It means no cytokinesis. So in cell division, nucleus division, karyokinesis. After that, cytoplasm division, cytokinesis. Every nucleus, when it divides into two nuclei, each and every one will be surrounded by a wall. This process is called wall formation or cytokinesis. But here, in the most common type of nuclear endosperm or free nuclear endosperm, only karyokinesis is found. Immediately cytokinesis is not seen. But after some time, by centripetal wall formation, centripetal wall formation. How to understand this? Centripetal, from periphery to the center, from periphery end to this, outside to inside, outside to inside, outside to inside. Wall formation starts here, here, here. So it is going to surrounded by walls. Slowly, after that, it will come here, like that. So in the beginning, centripetal wall formation means cytokinesis occurs first in the nuclei found in the peripheral regions. Peripheral region means outside. This is total cytoplasm. I am showing this here. Total cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, so many nuclei are here. So many nuclei are here. And this so many nuclei which are found are called free nuclear endosperm tissue. Nuclear endosperm tissue. Gradually, so here there is no wall formation, only nuclei are there. And imagine that each and every one is triploid nucleus, triploid like this. Gradually, this nuclear division or karyokinesis results after some time, immediately not immediately, after some time, formation of wall, cell wall from here, from here, from here, from here, from here, like this, from periphery to the center, from periphery to the center. When it forms walls from periphery to the center, in the center, free nuclei are in the form of liquid or water. Here it is present in the form of solid or cells having cell walls. Such type of endosperm having some solid substances at the, because of wall formation at the peripheral regions or outside regions. It is coming from peripheral to the center, so it is called centripetal. From here it will gradually coming like this, gradually coming like this. Gradually. So in the center, what is there? In the center, free nuclei. So the best example for this nuclear endosperm or free nuclear endosperm is coconut. The best example for nuclear endosperm, coconut. Coconut, when it is young in condition, in the center it consists of liquid. This liquid is nothing but nuclear endosperm or free nuclear endosperm. Free nuclear endosperm, and at the ends it will become solid substance called meat of the coconut, meat or kernel of the coconut, which is white in color, white kernel of the coconut, which is called copra. This copra is called cellular endosperm. So cell walls are formed here, white kernel, copra, edible. It is not liquid, it is solid. Whereas in the center, liquid, free nuclear endosperm. So two types of endosperms are present in the same. Let us see here. Cellular endosperm means from the beginning, whenever a nucleus is going to divide into two, immediately wall will be formed. Every nucleus going into develop into two, wall will be formed. Wall will be formed. It develops into two, wall will be. So formation of a nuclei by karyokinesis, and immediately karyokinesis is followed by cytokinesis, wall formation. So this is called cellular endosperm, which is characteristic feature of gamopetalae. Some monocots of angiosperms. Cellular endosperm, gamopetalae, polypetalae. Cellular and free nuclear or nuclear means nuclear divisions, immediately no cell wall formation. After some time, cell wall formation. From the beginning, the endosperm both karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Nucleus also divides, immediately cell wall also formed. Cellular endosperm, elobial type of, observed in order helobials of monocots. A specific type of endosperm formation, order helobials of monocots, helobial type of endosperm. What is this helobial type of endosperm? It is an intermediate between nuclear and cellular types. An intermediate between nuclear and cellular types. Helobial endosperm, an intermediate. What does it mean? It shows both the properties of nuclear endosperm and cellular endosperm. So here intermediate means it shows both the properties of, here it shows first karyokinesis, later cytokinesis. Here it shows both karyokinesis and cytokinesis simultaneously. In helobial endosperm, first this divides unequally into two cells, two unequal cells. Upper cell is called micro, towards the micropyle, micropylar. Upper cell is micropylar cell. It is large. Lower cell, chalazal or antipodal. It is smaller cell. So unequal division of this endosperm tissue, the cytoplasm. In this, it undergoes, so cell wall is formed. It is called cellular type. Cell wall is formed between two cells. It has cellular property. Now, the upper micropyla large cell undergoes into so many free nuclear divisions, so many free, which is resembling the nuclear endosperm. So many, immediately they will form wall formation. Becomes cellular. It becomes first free nuclear, gradually develops cell wall, cellular. So it is having the properties of both nuclear and cellular. That's why it is called intermediate between nuclear and cellular. The lower cell, it may remain undivided. According to some studies, it remains undivided, or it may be divided into few cells, 5 nuclear division later, followed by cellular divisions. Ilobial endosperm, which possess both the characteristic features of, they may ask question, how many cells are there? 2 cells. So it resembles the character of cellular. How many nuclei are there? 2 nuclei. Gradually the upper cell undergoes division or lower cell. Upper cell first undergoes division to form free nuclei and later becomes cellular. So each cell showing free nuclear and cellular. That's why it is called an intermediate between both types. Endosperm development and types. Now, generally endosperm is, after its formation, degenerates, or the growth of the endosperm is suppressed. In such condition, endosperm is completely absent from the beginning. Such type of growth of endosperm is suppressed. In some families, Orchidaceae. In Orchidaceae family members, soon after endosperm is formed, it means when endosperm is formed, immediately it degenerates. It means its growth is not grown. Growth is not promoted. Its growth is suppressed. Soon after endosperm is formed, its growth suppressed and endosperm degenerates. So endosperm is from the beginning completely absent or not formed at all. Now, sir, what this endosperm is doing? This endosperm is a nutritive tissue. It is providing nutrition to the zygote, which is developing into embryo. So if endosperm is not there, means proper nutrition is not given to the zygote to develop into embryo. So there is no assurance of provision of nutrition to the developing zygote into embryo. So compulsorily endosperm has to be formed before to the zygote development. Now, sir, whether this endosperm is formed, whether it is present in all the seeds, why O will develop into a seed? So in a seed, endosperm is present or not? So fate of the endosperm. What happens next to the endosperm? Whether it will supply food, whether it is sustained or not, how long it will sustain in the seed, whether every seed possesses endosperm, or those seeds which are not having endosperms, which are having, all these are fate of endosperm is in two methods. How, sir? Sometimes for the development of zygote into embryo and to become a seed with having embryo, for the development of zygote into many cells by mitotic divisions to become embryo, and which is embedded in the seed. Later seed germinates into a form of a plant. So by the time when seed is formed, if endosperm is completely utilized, if endosperm is completely utilized by the developing embryo in the seed, it means a seed not having endosperm. Why endosperm is not there? Because it is completely utilized. A seed without endosperm are called non-endospermic seeds. If endosperm is completely utilized by the developing embryo in the seed, or seed without endosperm is called non-endospermic. Non-endospermic seed. Non-endospermic seed is also called X-albuminous. X, once upon a time it was there but utilized. X-albuminous. Non-endospermic seed or X-albuminous seed is the name given to that seed which is not having endosperm. It means the endosperm is utilized by the time of seed is formed. Examples of non-endospermic seeds, generally and mostly P, groundnut, beans or gram. P, groundnut, beans or grams, which belongs to family Fabaceae. Papilionaceae. In these papilionaceous members, in the seed, completely endosperm is absent. Such conditions, such seeds are called non-endospermic seeds or X-albuminous seeds. But in some seeds, some amount of endosperm is still present in the seed. It means endosperm is not completely utilized. Some amount of endosperm is still present. If some amount of endosperm is still present in a seed, such seed is called seed with endosperm. Endospermic seed. Endospermic seeds are albuminous seeds. Albuminous, X-albuminous, albuminous, non-endospermic, endospermic. When some amount of endosperm, even after its usage, it is still present in the seed. Non-endospermic seeds, we have seen the examples: P, groundnut,
beans and grams. Endospermic seeds, we have seen in the examples of castor and most of the examples of maize, wheat, rice are cereal grains. You can identify so many questions, memory based, example based questions in the NEET examinations. So, fate of endosperm, either the endosperm is completely utilized or endosperm may be present. So, we can call this as persistent endosperm. Here, by the time when our this structure which is going to develop here. What is this? Earlier it was called embryo sac or female gametophyte, which is having egg cell, synergist, egg apparatus, central cell, antibodies here. So after the fertilization, egg develops into embryo, zygote, zygote develops into gradually embryo. In the same, here what is their central cell after fertilization becomes primary endosperm nucleus, primary endosperm cell, and gradually it becomes endosperm tissue. So when this ovule is going to develop into a seed, when this ovule is going to develop into a seed, here it is macropyle, seed pore, chalaza, integument, seed coat, outer integument testa, inner integument tegment. Here antibodies degenerate, synergist degenerate, funicle becomes stalk of the seed. So the total body is called seed. Seed, coat, total bodies, seed, stalk, seed pore, total structure is maybe endosperm. Present or absent? Fate of the endosperm. Here, NEET questions, numerous. So, if endosperm is present or not, but what is compulsorily present? Zygote, because it is the product of syngamy, which develops into embryo. It is the product of triple fusion, develops into endosperm. Endosperm may be present or may be absent. Now, in this ovule, in the beginning, what is present here? In the beginning, it was nucellus. Generally, nucellus, for the development of this embryo sac earlier, it is used up. It is going to supply the food. And it is used up slowly. Completely used up in most of the cases. In some cases, nucellus is still present. Nucellus is a diploid tissue. Endosperm is diploid tissue. In some seeds, the total is seed. In some seeds, some amount of nucellus is still present. It is called persistent nucellus or remnants of nucellus. Remnants of nucellus. Question comes, my dear students, NEET. Endosperm is diploid. What is the tissue which is present in the seed that is diploid and it is a representative of the earlier generation? Why? Seed is going to drop in the soil, seed is developing into a new plant, new generation. So what is the tissue of old generation present? Nucellus is present, which is of old generation. persistent nucellus, remnants of nucellus, which are called perisperm. Direct question, my dear students. What is perisperm? They may give questions, statement type of questions. Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4. Identify from the above which is correct with reference to perisperm. Identify from the above which is correct with reference to endosperm. Identify the above with reference to so and so. Zygote, embryo. So, perisperm, if nucellus is diploid, perisperm also diploid. Memory based question. In which of the following plants perisperm is present? Perisperm is present in Piper nigrum or pepper, black pepper. In the textbook clearly they have mentioned, and beet, and also in Nymphaceae members. Nymphaceae members. Memory based neat questions. Perisperm. Now, based upon the formation of zygote, that is embryo, zygote is always diploid, endosperm is triploid, perisperm is diploid. Now, let us see one neat concept based upon these. Ploidy of the tissues. Based on the ploidy of the tissues. Tissues. Question number 1. Based on the ploidy of the tissues in the seed. Question number 1. When a diploid male plant crossed with tetraploid when a diploid to n male plant crosses with tetraploid female plant, when a diploid male plant crossed with tetraploid female plant, what will be the ploidy of zygote and endosperm respectively? Read the question. When a diploid male plant crossed with a tetraploid female plant, what will be the ploidy of zygote, which is the resultant product of crossing, fertilization, and what will be the ploidy of endosperm? Generally, when two plants which are diploid, diploid male, diploid female, when they were crossed, generally zygote will be diploid, endosperm will be triploid. Normal. But here we have changed. A diploid plant is crossed with tetraploid. So here, if a question comes like this, how to identify? Easiest method to understand, to follow, to answer similar type of questions. diploid male plant. 2n male plant means having male gametophyte with 2, or you can give this is male gametophyte having 2 nuclei, 2 male gametes. Male gametes. Generally, a male pollen grain or gametophyte. Gametophyte is haploid always because it is a product formed by meiosis. So during meiosis, a microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell undergoes meiosis to produce haploid spores. So 4 spores it is going to produce. These 4 spores, they were haploid, they undergoes mitotic divisions, equational divisions to become pollen grain and finally male gametophyte. So even though it is having vegetative cell and generative cell, it is called haploid. Even though a pollen grain is having 2 male gametes, it is called haploid only. So pollen grain is haploid. So from a diploid plant body, when we have undergone, it becomes haploid. It means the 2n number is reduced to half. In diploid, it should be half. Here it is half only, even though it is having. Oh, this is an N. Now, tetraploid female plant. Let us draw the diagram of embryo sac. An embryo sac generally in a diploid plant undergoes, diploid plant means megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to form 4 haploid megaspores. These 4 haploid megaspores, 3 will degenerate, only 1 will become functional megaspore, which is haploid. It grows, undergoes various mitotic, 3 mitotic divisions and organized to form a embryo sac or female gametophyte. Even though it is having so many, it is considered as haploid only. So when a diploid is there, haploid should be half. But here tetraploid is there, so half should be diploid. So here egg, synergids, antipodals. So each and every one is half. What is half in 4n? 2n. What is half in 2n? 2n becomes n. 2n becomes n. Here normal 2n becomes n. All are having haploid. But here 4n half is equal to 2n, 2n. This is 2n. 2n plus 2n, 4n. 2n, 2n, 2n. 2n, 2n, 2n. So in tetraploid, half means 2n. That is called half. Oh, in 2n half is n, in 4n half is 2n. In 8n half is 4n, in 6n half is 3n. Like that, always gametophytes or gametes represent the haploid stage, half stage. Here, whenever a cross made between a diploid male with a tetraploid female, what will be the ploidy of zygote? Now, when these two enters, which is having NN, 1N mixes with egg. Here, N of male gamete plus 2N of egg. N plus 2N, 3N is the ploidy of zygote. So zygote ploidy is triploid. Why is it triploid? It is diploid only, so half is NN. It is tetraploid, so half is 2N, 2N. When a N haploid with a 2N, it mixes, n plus 2n, 3n is zygote. This is called zygote. Zygote is always triploid. Now, the other male gamete n fuses with the secondary nucleus here, central cell. The central cell is having 2n plus 2n, 4n. So, n plus 4n is equal to pentaploid endosperm. So the ploidy of endosperm is, when a question comes like this, ploidy of various tissues, especially zygote and endosperm. When a cross made between two plants, like 2n and 4n, what will be the ploidy of zygote? 3n always. What will be the ploidy of endosperm? 5n always. Now, let us see another example just by simply changing these. We are going to change. If a male plant having tetraploid and female plant is having hexaploid or octaploid or diploid or various. For example, octaploid. A male tetraploid, a female 8 nuclei, octaploid. If a cross made between these two plants, male and female plants, what will be the ploidy of zygote and endosperm respectively? Or they may ask what will be the ploidy of endosperm and zygote respectively. Respectively means in sequence, one after the other. If a question comes like this, simply 4n is the structure, so it consists of half each and every one, 2n, 2n. Here 8n means half, everyone is 4n. 4n, 4, 4, 4 plus 4, 8 central cell, 4n egg, 4n, 4n. Male gametes, 2n, 2n. One male gamete fuses with 2n plus 4n. Zygote that develops after fertilization between two plants having tetraploid male plant, octaploid female plant, when it undergoes crossing or fusion or fertilization, fertilization results in the formation of zygote always. That zygote's ploidy is 2n of the male and 4n of the female. Why it is 4n? Because the plant is octaploid. So it is a gamete, it is half. In 8n, half is 4n. 4n plus 2n, 6n is the zygote. What is the ploidy of endosperm? What is the ploidy of endosperm? When a cross made between this, with a 4n male and 8n, 2n male gamete fuses with 4 plus 4, n, triple fusion. 4 plus 4, 8, n plus 2n. 2n is of male gamete, 8n is of female gamete. The ploidy is so always the endosperm's ploidy is triploid, 3 times more than the N. So diploid and triploid based upon the concepts of endosperm and zygote. Now let us see embryo development in dicot plants. Again, if you practice these questions, there is a possibility you can answer multiple forms. You only can create questions, you only can get answers. The thing is, you should remember this concept. So, whenever a classmate between, or they may ask indirectly, if a plant is having so and so pleiady, what will be the parents? If a plant is having so and so pleiady or a tetraploid endosperm or pentaploid embryo, what will be the pleiady of the parents? Possible options, first, second, third, fourth. You can get it. To practice, to get it easily, to answer it easily, we have to practice more number of questions like that. Embryo development. Dicot embryo. It was first studied by Hans Steen in Cruciferae family members. Cruciferae is now called Brassicaceae. And he studied the development of embryo shepherd's purse plant, shepherd's purse plant called Capsella bursa pastoris. Capsella bursa pastoris, shepherd's purse plant. So it is a dicot embryo he studied. Initially, both dicot plants and monocot plants, they shows similar type of embryo formation, embryo development. Later, it differs. In the beginning, both dicots and monocots show similar type of embryo development. So, because of the time, is a faculty member, time does not permit, we will see in the next class. Wish you all the best. Study the process of sexual reproduction thoroughly until you are able to give answers to almost all the questions, example oriented questions. All the best.